everybody. Welcome to Vida Tennis, the podcast for those of us who eat, sleep, breathe tennis. My name is Jennifer Gelhaus, and I'm your host. Today, I'm talking to Jay Shetty. He is the director of tennis at the Westmoor Club in the beautiful island of Nantucket in Massachusetts. He has taught at other amazing clubs like the Jupiter Island Club and the Meadow Club. He played tennis for Texas Christian University, and he's originally from India, where he was the number one junior player, and he got to a ranking number 12 in the world in doubles. Welcome, Jay, to Vida Tennis. Did I get your background right?
I think you did.
Awesome. So, Jay, I was talking to you already a little bit about, how you ended up having a career in the tennis industry. You don't really hear kids out there saying, I want to be a director of tennis when I grow up. We all kind of fall into this later in life and end up loving it. But I wanted to explore, and hear about you and how you ended up being a director of tennis.
So in college, I think I was kind of teaching part-time in Southampton, Jupiter Island and all, and, going about my business and loving it. Liking the whole freedom part of it. Had a lot of breaks. So I was kind of trying to see where my life takes me. And 3-4 years down the road, I think I fell in love with the whole business side of it. So I think coaching and business, it's just, the more you love the wellness part of it. I think the fitness part of it, you start falling in love with the whole industry. And you got to hold on there. In the tennis industry, it's a tough industry. Sometimes, becoming a pro is very financially rewarding starting off. But then there's a lot of lag before you get your good jobs. So that's the lag part, which people have to have patience and kind of mature enough to kind of hold on to it. And If you're good enough, I think you can get through and get to the desired positions. And I actually love the place I'm at, love the club, love the members, and I can't expect anything better than that.
Yeah. And you were mentioning before how, in other countries it's not as easy to have a career in tennis, that, you're kind of fortunate that you were able to do that here in the US. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So I can talk a lot about India. India is very kind of academic. People want to go in academic direction. So everybody's so sports is kind of a totally tangent, taking away from everything. So you have to be totally possessed and kind of fight the crowd out and try to play your sport, use your, the way you're doing well. And I think the parents are more, they're always kind of towards academics. So it's a tougher part. Once you get out of juniors, there's still money in juniors. They still kind of the academies spend money on you. But after 18, that's where you kind of find the plateau. You really have nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. What America does so well is makes it competitive. There's a big business side to it. There's so much to do after 18. College sports, it's just, they have perfected the art of college tennis. College sport, there's so much money involved, sponsors. Mm-hmm. That's not what the other countries have been able to do.
Absolutely.
So that's the big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, growing up, it was, I was either going to be a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer, basically. Like those are your options, right? And you never think like, oh, I'm going to be a tennis coach, or I'm going to be a director of tennis, or, that this is something that I'm going to pursue. So, same for me. What would you say is your favorite and your least favorite thing about teaching tennis or about being a director?
Favorite thing to do is setting up programs and making it come into fruition, trying to make everything happen, getting everybody together. These guys, my members, come from different places in the country, the world, and they're there for a very small part of time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and trying to just make it a very happy, very kind of I mean, I think they just love it. When I see some appreciation from them, I see how much they love the program. And that's what I strive to do. And I think last few years at my club, it's become so busy that I've been able to do some stuff and change a little bit. And, it's a very busy club. So I love the challenge part of it. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't live without
you feel like you bring joy to people.
Right. And that's a big part. I mean, these guys,
Yeah.
these guys are coming from England, France, and then they love the way we run clinics. It's a little more, hyper, a little more cardio intensive, and these guys don't get that too much. So, but it's a big part of the teaching is trying to learn from people, trying to see whether, everybody doesn't want the same thing.
Yeah.
If you can learn it in the 10, 15 minutes, you'll be successful. Otherwise, you're going to be beating a dead horse.
Right.
So it's not going to work. Everybody they don't move the same way. So you have to kind of make it, it has to happen within that 1 hour. You have to change according to you. So improvise is the key word for us. Our business.
You have to be quick you have to be on your toes.
Right.
Just be, think quickly. I think as much as we come in with a plan when we're on court, you got to be flexible because you might be in a smaller group or a larger group or different people show up or you don't know their levels, right? So I like to have an idea of what I'm doing, but I almost never follow the plan. I don't know about you.
Welcome to my life. So it's everybody has a different set of rules, and I just feel like we need to find a way to get to the desired end. The goal has to be the same. You can't just be very stubborn about your plans.
Right. And what's your least favorite thing about it?
Hiring and trying to make the pros happy. It is the hardest thing, one of the hardest things to do. Everybody has a demand, an ask, and you have to match it with the club. You would love to give it to them. And I love to be a pro's pro. I want to give everything what my pros want.
Yeah.
But if there is a single room, if there is something that I can't get, I can't get it. I can't just manufacture that. And in places like Hamptons and Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, you can just manufacture it. So so sometimes letting my pros down is that's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah,
I'm sure. That is very challenging, and I don't think it gets easier with how much time you've been in the industry. I think it probably is always challenging, right? Finding good people and making people happy, right?
Right. And keeping them. And now everybody has, it's the microwave society. They want results now. Mm-hmm. So they want everything to happen now. And you can't. You have to, after staying in 20 years in the business, slowly graduates. It's a hard road. The middle road is the toughest road. And I think you have to kind of learn to be patient. And if you're good, you're going to somehow prevail.
Yeah, that I think so too. So you've worked at some great clubs. You mentioned the Meadow Club, which I'm familiar with out in Southampton. What do they have? Like 40 grass court. It's a beautiful club.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And you are at Jupiter Island, and you're obviously at the Westmoor Club in beautiful Nantucket. So you're at all these beautiful places with beautiful people. Can you talk a little bit about what that's like? Because it's such a different vibe, right? Than being like at a public facility or an athletic club. It's a very special niche, and I've done it as well, and I love it. But I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.
Well, it's a demanding business. With these clubs, these people are used to the best. They are used to the best. I come out of college and I go to Southampton Meadow Club, one of the best, the most beautiful facility you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And I got spoiled, so I really didn't know what the start of the business is. And this was my start of the business, and beautiful club. and the members are type A personality, the wives are type A personality. So you have to match the demand. And the no is not a word for us.
Yeah.
So you have to somehow make it happen.
Yes.
And it's demanding, and people can think that you are on the tennis court, you're having fun, it's great. But believe me, there's so much going on in the back. It's insane.
Oh, yeah. Never let them see you sweat.
So it could look like I'm having fun, but there's 200 things going on in my head. Mm-hmm. And that's the part sometimes people don't see. But, I realized it. It's my bed. I got to make it. And I think I've started enjoying it, enjoying the process, and I'm loving it. And the challenge, it just gets me up. It really does. So all these three, like you said, the personalities are tough. They're really good. They come into the club. There's a decorum to get into the club. So they're all good people. But they demand the best. And, I don't blame them for demanding the best. I have to produce the best. And challenge meets the, demand, has to. And that's what gets me going.
It pushes you to be better.
Yeah.
On and off the court, because you also have to carry yourself in a certain way.
Right.
You have to be very, very professional. Not that you don't have to be professional in other places, but it's just it's almost like if you haven't experienced it, it's hard to describe,
You have to experience it.
When I first, like I was at Maidstone,
right.
and
not a great club.
Yeah, another grass court club out there in the Hamptons.
Beautiful
club. I love my time there. I was there 7 years. And honestly, when I got in at my first summer, it was like, I just had no idea what I was going to
Right.
With the years you learn, obviously, but that first summer is like, it can be a little bit of a culture shock, like coming from another country, You're
right.
Oh my gosh, this is so different,
Was that your first job?
That was my first summer job.
Okay.
It wasn't my first teaching job, but it was my first summer job. And it was my first job where I had to wear all white.
Right.
And I remember I had a really nice head, not that I'm endorsed by Head or anything, but I had a very nice head hat. Yeah. And I thought it was nice, but it had apparently too much color, and I got in trouble, for wearing that. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to even risk it. Even I try to look for, things with no logo whatsoever. I was like, everything has to be white. Everything has to be super professional and look a certain way, but yeah, your first time, you just have no idea.
Right.
Even when you wear an event, as a girl, for guys, it's easy. You just wear a suit, For us girls, we have to figure out what we're wearing.
And there are not too many options in the market. The option in the market is very less because the way the hardcore tennis has gone, the color has become the main component. It's become so color oriented. So it's very tough to find something white. And if you find something white, the material is not good. It's not fun to wear it. And when you don't feel confident, you don't want to go on the court that. So it all kind of trickle down effect. But it's same thing. We are kind of going full white. We've been going all white, but we had a little kind of give with the shoes and the hat. But this year, our owner, Graham Goldsmith and Kitty Goldsmith, they've just, it's a private club. So they built this club 15 years back.
Oh.
And we are going all white this year. So that's going to be a challenge to the members to get used to it. But it's, it's a beautiful spot they've built. It's an amazing club. We have 2-3 great clubs there, Yacht Club and Great Harbor.
Yeah.
But not to be biased, but our club is just stunning. They got croquet. It's just something you can't make it up.
I went to Nantucket for the first time last summer and I loved it. It reminded me a lot of the Hamptons. It's just but yeah, the white stuff. Oh my gosh. I couldn't even I was just looking for clay court shoes that are all white and I can't find any. So it's so challenging. And what really sucks is having to be the person that has to enforce it, right?
Oh God.
Having to tell
Kill me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you can't wear this or you can't play with that. How do you handle that?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. When somebody's come, they came from New York just overnight. They just come there for 2 days, and you feel like you're pushing the stuff from the pro shop at them, but it's the management against the member, and you're kind of in the rock and a hard place. So you kind of have to find a way to deliver the message, and the postman always gets killed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
exactly.
So
it's like, don't shoot the messenger. I didn't make up the rules, but it's what it is.
Yeah, but that's a part of the job. So it's a tough one, but you have to, you know what the management is trying to get, what the owners want to get out of it. You want a beautiful, exclusive white club, and you know what you're trying. The goal is right. Sometimes it's hard to kind of go through.
It's hard to enforce rules and having to say no to people sometimes. That can be tough.
Right.
So what has been one of the biggest skills, besides saying no to people, I guess, that you have earned or that you have worked on as a tennis professional?
I think my relationships. I think last 2 years, I've been running been the head pro for 6-7 years here. So I had a director who was very kind of let me do everything. So I was running the program for the last 5-6 years, and I took over properly, officially last year. And I think the relationships are huge. All the pros I have in the 20 years, the friends I've made. We had a big crisis last year. 2-3 pros had to go, paperwork, and the family had some problems and stuff. I had, the relationships have really helped that I can get a pro on the island in about 2 days. So I think that's my strength lately. I have a great team. So 9 pros last year, 9 tennis pros.
Wow.
All 9 are coming back.
That's a big staff.
So I kind of take pride in that. But yeah, I mean, the program's never been stronger.
Yeah.
I like the whole part of it. And, I've on the court, I would say I'm good at improvising. I know what the guy wants, what the lady wants. I can kind of misfire once in a blue moon, but I kind of figured out what they want out of the session. They want teaching. They want a workout. They want, fitness. So I think it's a big part of it where I sometimes see pros struggle is they kind of stick to their routine.
Yeah.
And they're doing an amazing job. They come out 20/20 hindsight. They come out, they say, I did a great job, but the member didn't love it.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of find that. I think
you get a feel for that for sure.
Yeah. So I think you need experience. The younger guys need some experience, but yeah. All in all, it's been good.
Yeah. And would you say that, so how do you find people so quickly? Is it just like within your network, and word of mouth, or do you usually use some kind of posting online for your jobs? How do you normally go about that?
I have gone on protennisjob.com. That's a good site for a lot of people around there, good people I've seen, but it's word of mouth. Resumes have fooled me, but knowing somebody, knowing a friend, and knowing a couple of the directors all over the country, you treat them well, you're going to be treated better. And they actually scan the people before they tell me. They know I'm not going to take second best, third best.
Yeah.
So I think relationship matters. So I like the word of mouth way better than the resume. They have fooled me a few times.
Sure.
Yeah. So I just need to look at the person and talk to them for 5-10 minutes. I can get a gauge of what my members want. And after all, it's not about what I want. The members have to be happy. That's my goal. And that's what I try to do. And it's gone well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs, at least, these summer clubs, kind of like the ones we're talking about, a lot of it is word of mouth.
Yeah.
And, it's almost like if you're a pro in, let's say Florida or any kind of seasonal place that, is super busy in the winter, and you're a nice club, you're in a good position to have maybe your director recommend you for a summer job or something like that. So it does. The system does seem to work that way. And how do you stay in touch or network? Are you doing it like going to conferences or just through all your years and working with many different people? Like, do you still like actively try to do that?
I haven't done these coaching meetings. The Orlando, a lot of stuff happens in Orlando. I haven't done it, which is I kind of feel I kind of missed out there. But yes, my relationship with the different pros and go meet a few pros every now and then. I went to Naples last year, met a few pros, and the friends. Yeah, so it's a chain reaction, and I think I have good friends in the business. So it kind of has worked out till now. But like I said, you have to keep growing. You can never sit idle. You think it's going well, you just lose the beat. So I think that's one thing I need to do. Go to Orlando and start going for conferences, which I haven't done much. But that's my next step. I'm going to start growing that way too.
Yeah. Oh, great. And we kind of touched on this, how pros come in with their plan and the kind of younger pros, and they just kind of stick to their plan, kind of no matter what, because it's a plan. Right. So that can be challenging for somebody, kind of coming into the industry. But what do you think is the biggest challenge for a young pro?
I would say, like I said, these members have been in best clubs. They've been in amazing clubs. So they know what coaching is. They know what good coaching and bad coaching is. They can make it out. Yeah. So what I would say, what I have experienced with the younger pros, is just a little more ownership of their craft. They have to kind of grow that. Sometimes it's grown with confidence. Sometimes if you have preparation, if you don't have that much confidence, you better be prepared. You have 10 plans of how to go about it. And sometimes it's not even the drill. It's how you explain the drill, how you get to their head. Basically, they just want to feel relaxed and comfortable and go do the drill. They would love to perform, but you have to kind of explain it. So that's what sometimes they just go through the motion sometimes. And it's a challenge. But I think over the time, they will learn. It's experience is key. And somebody wants to learn. If somebody wants to grow and learn, I think you can teach them anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Putting in the work. I think that sometimes it's maybe out of shyness or lack of experience that, and this is, to me, something that kind of kills me is to see pros. Like, let's say I'm leading a clinic, it's just to have the pro like not say anything or just kind of like just be a ball machine, just like a body there, I'm like, please talk, especially if you're around kids, right? Like you have to bring so much energy and you have to help, whoever is leading the clinic with bringing that energy and talking to people and making sure everybody's having a good time. And I think that to me, in my experience hiring and mentoring pros, that to me has been the hardest thing is to get some, because sometimes it's like maybe shyness, but also maybe it's your personality. Like you might be just a quiet type of person, and I'm very loud. I'm very go, go, go. I want people to leave the clinic pumped up. Exactly. And if I'm the only one bringing that, then it's exhausting to me, right? But also, like, I want my staff to be like that, but I can't expect everybody to be like me. They might not have my personality, so I find that to be challenging.
Right? No,
if I hire somebody with a different personality.
It's smiling. Sometimes the members you're meeting so many people for the first time. So I think smile goes a long way. They get eased up, and the members otherwise it's kind of a little icy feeling. And then you go through your drills, they're never going to open up to you. So just smiling, that's as simple as smiling, just gets them opened up. And once they open up, then you can basically go through and start talking. That I would say is they need that. The energy, you cannot beat energy. You cannot teach energy. You cannot beat it. It's a key factor in our business. In a country club business, you need to get them up. And once you'll be surprised, somebody who's tired, who's not feeling it, and I've given them energy in 15, 20 minutes, they are back on it. So seeing all that repetitive, kind of seeing all that every time happen, you start believing in your way of life, way of teaching. And I think it works. It works. So I kind of tell the younger pros all the time, just watch a few lessons, watch a few people. I tell them to come early, see a couple of the guys who have been in the business. They know how to go about. Just make it relaxed, make it having fun, and teach at the same time. You can get all three in. And they have. I mean, things have worked out. But yeah, it's always a challenge when you hire somebody new.
Yeah.
Being shy is tough. It's tough to get out of. They have not gotten out of for 23 years, but this business makes you get out of it.
Yeah.
It does. There's a lot to do with it.
Absolutely. And I think, the teaching part, like you mentioned, it is really important. I feel like we always, we're there to teach, we're there to entertain, we're there to teach. There's a lot of things we're there for. But teaching is a basic aspect of it. But sometimes you do get some people that are not really interested in learning. Yeah. They kind of want to have fun and get a good workout. And you have to be able to adjust to that as well.
And not feel bad. You don't have to take it personally, They have come for a reason. They're here for 2 days. They don't want to hear the technique part of it. They're here just for 2 days. Why would you introduce technique to somebody who's going to be leaving you in 2 days? You're going to try something unbelievable from your side, and the person's totally messed up, and they go back to their club in New York or Boston, and they don't know what they're doing because you taught them, you didn't follow through. So that could be a big part too. So you have to know your crowd, you have to know what you're giving, and be able to kind of, somebody signs up with you for the whole summer, then you can start sprinkling stuff out. Take all the coaching out, technique part of it. But it can get complicated, but
it's an art. And honestly, I think it just comes with experience.
Yeah, looks like you love it. You're very big into it. Looks like you're very big into it. Yeah. I can see what comes out of you. You basically want to teach, something good coming out of a lesson. It's just, there's no better feeling. Learning something.
Like I want to teach something, even if it's just like where to stand, Right. But sometimes, people just have no interest. They just want to have a good time and get a workout, and you still try to teach them something, because you feel like you're not doing your job if you don't do that. At least I do. But might go in one ear out the other, and whatever you tried, that's all you can do.
You give your best. I mean,
exactly.
You can't cheat the member.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the most common mistake? I'm guessing do you have a lot of beginners? What would you say is like the most common mistake that beginners or players in general, however you want to, whatever direction you want to take this into, make?
Trying to hit hard.
Yeah.
That's key. The men especially. The ladies are still better. The men come out. They've come out of for the weekend from New York and Boston and stuff, and then they want to come out and just hit the heck out of the ball.
That's
and
so
trying to get that, trying to make them understand, you can still win with not trying to hit it hard. Mm-hmm. And that would be a challenge. But everybody has a different kind of understanding of the game. You just try to keep helping them. And the beginners, you just want to make them feel comfortable. They're very shy. They're actually very kind of insecure about their game. It's how comfortable you can make them feel, get them involved. And you'll be surprised how many times I've converted those people who just want to do 1-2 lesson and get out, never be with a group. They want to just do, privates. And my satisfaction comes from getting those private lessons into a clinic. And I know my heart is in the right place. I know they're going to have fun with a group.
Yeah.
They love their privates, but they want to get into the groups. And once I get them there, that's a great feeling for me. So I kind of keep trying to convert the new people into groups and have them, the basic goal would be they can go out, play doubles with 3 people and have fun without me being there. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the group aspect is sometimes undervalued by people because the group clinics, that's where you're going to socialize, where you're going to have fun, where you're going to meet other people that you can play with.
Right.
And that is important. It kind of like keeps you going, and where you can measure up how much better you're getting, because you're always playing with the pro. You don't really get to see how much better you're getting. The pro's always going to be better than you. Yeah. But if you're in a clinic, you can at least kind of see how you're improving, and
right. And diversity of the game, variety. Yeah. I mean, you don't see that with a pro. So the pro is very good to kind of get you going, kind of introduce some new stuff into your game, positioning, play, new stroke. But when you play in the group games, I think it just tests you differently. Nerves and trying to measure up the other ladies, other men. It kind of it's the true test. So I like them playing in group lessons and group drills. I love it.
Yeah. So now one of the beautiful things about having a summer job, or working at a seasonal summer place, is a lot of times there's no leagues, right? It's here, like in Florida, right? There's so many leagues. Ladies playing like 3 or 4 different leagues. This and that, whatever. And I think that leagues are, obviously they're great, at keeping people motivated. It's a good competitive outlet. It keeps a lot of people in tennis, right? A lot of people play tennis, people that are competitive, but also drives a lot of people away from tennis.
True.
And especially if you're doing it too soon in your development, I guess, as a player, right? Or whatever it is. But I don't know. I have a really mixed feeling about leagues and just competition in general when it's too soon. What do you think about that?
I'm actually in the same book. Sometimes it can drive you out. A lot of people and the clubs we go to, the Meadow Clubs and the Maidstones and the Martha's Vineyard and the Nantucket, we get them for maybe 3 weeks, and then they go away, and then they come back. They have so many family things to do. They're enjoying this summer. So it's very hard to get a kid and work on something with them because they're going for sleepover camps and stuff. So you can really not get them. But so I've seen predominantly our drills have gotten too drilly. They love getting cardio, good session and stuff. So games and all do matter. But the people who actually play the leagues in Boston, New York and all, they want to play some matches. But it is shifting. It kind of goes back and forth at my club. So I'm trying to keep them. So I've kind of set up a match with your club, tennis match, a pickleball match with another club, West Shop, and a friend of mine, he runs it there. So a West Shop club, a pickleball home and away. So I do, there's some club tournaments. There's a lot of club tournaments, but there are some ladies who do not want to play tournaments.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. But again, I go to trying to make them feel comfortable. If they're feeling comfortable, they play some point, they get into the mode, they're ready to play. But they turn off their dial. They don't want to compete. You're gonna get them to have a bad time, and they're gonna hate it.
Right? They can be challenging for men and women. I used to think it was just women, but totally. My husband plays in a lot of leagues himself, USDA leagues here in Florida, and the guys have drama too. It's not just the girls. I thought it was just the girls, but I was wrong about that.
How active is it? The men's league? It's like.
Very. I mean, he loves it. Okay. He's captain teams. He just doesn't want to captain anymore. I think captains, oh man, I think you got to have very thick skin. And not that he doesn't, but I think as a captain, you have to make the tough decisions. And he can put you in some awkward situations, you're just having fun,
Sure.
So,
The
leagues, that's where it gets a little tricky sometimes, with the adults, I think. But they're great, and they obviously keep people doing lessons, taking lessons, and more invested in the game. So it's definitely
Right.
a thing.
It's a measure of how much better you're getting. Some people have nerves, and
Right.
you have to kind of find a way to kind of ease them up. If they start kind of feeling easy, they're going to play fine. There are people who kind of throw up before a match. They just can't handle it. It's a club match, and then they basically are taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
My job as a coach is trying to get them to relax, give them a partner who's chill, who's not so worried about the result. And that's all goes to my coaching, my staff. Everybody needs to kind of get on the same page and try to get who is we need to make it easy for the game, easy for people who compete every day. You don't need to worry about them. They're going to compete.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a challenge, but it's basically trying to make their life easier. And that's what we try to do.
So are you teaching pickleball, or are you running a pickleball program also?
Yeah. So last year we started the pickleball. We just got four brand new courts specifically for pickleball. And I mean, it's crazy. It's gone out of sync here. So because every time they go down to Florida, they come back, more people have turned into pickle. And so we had to take it seriously last year. We took it. I started playing a little bit, and I love it. I see where it's coming from. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is really fun.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have a very, very busy pickleball season this year. So yeah, we got 4 pickleball courts. So it should be fun.
And you have pickleball pros?
So we have a pickleball pro. So who's coming back, and should be, I don't think it's big enough to get 2 pros now.
Yeah.
But I can see it go there. It's getting there.
Really?
Yeah. It's nuts.
Do you think it's going in a way like tennis, where you're doing a lot of lessons and you can have a full schedule as a pickleball pro?
For right now, for this summer, I think 1 or 2 guys will be busy. The number 1 guy is going to be, absolutely busy.
Yeah.
So number 2 guy is going to have to figure it out. But believe me, it's going there. There is no stopping this sport. It's growing everywhere. It's growing in India. I would think, we are traditionalists. So we kind of stick to our sports, the old English sports and stuff, tennis. People don't like to go into these small new sports and stuff. But I went to a tournament, there were 3,000 people. So I was shocked. And I think it's in small quarters still. It's getting into the really dedicated pickleball players.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to grow into the different crowd, because, people getting older, they still want to compete, harder to compete with younger people, new people coming into the game. The new people coming into the game who can't play tennis, who have never played a sport, they jump into the sport. They're finding it easy to get in. And it's a culture. Everybody else is playing it, then you want to jump into it. And tennis is harder to start learning at this age. Pickle is much easier.
For sure.
So
do you play platform tennis? I know that's really big in the Northeast, right?
Yeah, it is very big. But I think pickle is going to crush them. Pickle's everywhere. Pickle's on ESPN. Paddle still hasn't made it to, properly made it to ESPN. But pickle is growing the way it's growing. They're doing it right, I think. Paddle, again, the weather needs to be the right weather. So
yeah, right. Platform is the winter one, right?
Yeah. Platform is winter, and it's good. It's Boston, Chicago, New York. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Max, he plays a lot of paddle too. But I think people have to improvise and start playing pickle too. That's where the business is going. That's where the clubs are going. And we had to make 4 new courts, and those are going to be packed this year.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting my pickleball certification. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide on that, because, it's definitely different from tennis, different enough, to obviously there's things that you can learn and how to teach it and all that. And that's the direction that the industry is going into, is
especially when you're in Florida,
versatile.
in your area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At first, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, at first, I had some resistance to it. I'm like, I don't want to teach pickleball, and I do like pickleball. I just, I'm a tennis person,
Right.
But now I'm like, man, like I got to get with it. It's happening whether I want to or not. And,
Exactly.
as a professional, you
Right.
gotta, stay up to date with the industry trends, I guess.
Right. You have to kind of reinvent yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. I'm going to start teaching a little pickleball. I started kind of getting into it. I really like the challenge of it. I think I think it just gives a new dimension. Tennis is very solid at our club, very, very popular. We have 35, 40 women coming every morning to play tennis for clinics, Monday to Friday. So that's busy. And I want the people to start playing other sport too. It's a good, it's a strong club. I hate to say no. When somebody's coming from Connecticut for 1 week, I don't have a spot for them. It just feels awful to tell them no. But that's where pickle's going to come in handy for us.
Yeah.
That we can start spreading the crowd and let them have fun.
And did your club build courts in a new area, or did they basically take tennis courts down and turn them into pickleball?
So good thing is the owner had some more land.
Good.
The Goldsmiths, they had some more land, and I think they built it. They're actually members at Jupiter Island. So what he saw at Jupiter Island, I think he wanted to mimic out of it, make something in Nantucket, which he loves to play. So we had 2 paddle courts. We turned it into pickle in the summer and played. And then the demand started growing so big that last year we kind of converted 4 more courts. And it's just, it's going to be busy. I mean, people need it. People want it. And I think we delivered. So
definitely. Wow. Yeah. Pickle is definitely a beast. Is there something that, I just kind of find this question to be funny, but is there something that you hear yourself saying over and over again to your students? Can you think of anything?
Ooh. Yes, I'm sure I catch myself sometimes repeating the same things. But yes, I try to change it up a little bit. But sometimes people come to you to hear the same thing. That's why they keep.
That's true.
So you can look at it the other way too. If people start leaving you in droves, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm sure there are phrases. I can't think of it, but it's so routine and so ingrained in my head that, I mean, there are things, but I try to kind of coach differently. As long as I can get the message across, I like different way. Otherwise, the person who kind of plays with you a lot stops listening. If you're not going to put it in different words, you can get to the same message in different avenues. So you have to keep trying if you want to get something across.
Right. Okay. So what would you say has been the 2-part question? What would you say is the grand slam moment of your tennis life as a player or as a coach, where you just felt like on top of the world? It was the best thing ever. And then what was the double bagel, I call it double bagel moment of your life, where you're just like beat up, screw this, I'm done. If you can share with us.
I think both would be tennis. Both will be while competing. One would be going to Australian Open and Junior Wimbledon and stuff. Playing the Grand Slam would be the highlight.
Oh wow! I bet.
It was a treat to see all my heroes right in front of me. Agassi, Sampras, and all just right in front of me.
Oh, wow.
It's just bizarre.
Did you get to play against any big names?
I think I played Rios and Philippoussis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that would be my favorite. And I think the worst part of it is losses, some important losses. I would say winning the conference in college, TCU, winning the conference would be great. That was a good part of it. Competition, really, I love competition. So that's why I say pickleball is where I can still compete, not in tennis, but I can still compete in pickleball, which kind of gets you going too. So
nice.
Those are, yeah.
Are you thinking of playing like professional pickleball or something like that? Or
I think I'm going to go slowly that way, do a little bit of that. But I have, I'm kind of hoping to get some pickleball, tennis, some business side of it for the winter. I'm hoping to do some travel, trying to get a little luxury travel, trying to get people from here who go to back to India. There's a lot of people. I mean, India is going to be booming in the next 10, 15 years, 5, 10 years. So I think people taking them for a holiday back there and do meditation, yoga, play tennis, and do the tennis when they're there for 10 days. These people are tourists. They come there. They don't know what they're up to. They don't know how to go about it. I think I can make that easier, the transition, get them with a nice routine, go tennis, do it the way we do it here.
Love that.
And play tennis, put their kids into tennis spots where all my friends are Davis Cuppers, ex-Davis Cuppers, who are teaching and stuff. And then have meditation and yoga resort for a couple of people, and then expand it to people going and traveling around, exploring the city. So I have those three industries kind of marked up. So I'm just starting in the nascent phase of it.
I love that. Do you practice yoga and meditation?
My wife does, but I'm a big believer. But I'm into meditation, but not yoga yet. But I'm going to just start jumping into yoga. But I think there's so many good things happening in India that I think I can get something. Introduce something to the people here, people internationally. I think I can make their holidays much more fruitful. So
yeah,
a friend of mine and me are kind of thinking about doing something of that sort. So it's just in the phase of starting up. So thinking about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually 2 years ago or last year, I forget, COVID time blended. But recently I got my yoga certification.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And I always tell tennis players to start doing yoga because I think it's so good for your body. I was teaching a lot, playing a lot, and I just didn't see the point in yoga, honestly, because I was like, what's the point? I'm not burning calories. I don't get it, And then I started, I always tell people, I think if you have that kind of thought process, like I used to, hot yoga is a good intro to that whole world because you get a really good workout in hot yoga. I mean, you burn so many calories. And it kind of gets you in that world, and then you start exploring other types of yoga and meditation, and it's made such an impact in my life, with tennis, without tennis, just in general, that I can't recommend it enough. So I try to always tell people.
That's amazing. No, I'm a big believer of fitness and the mental, the world, the way the world is going. I think people are just getting so stressed out. I think you can't stress enough on trying to have a mental peace.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes with a little bit of sports, a little bit of yoga, meditation. Everything is kind of leads up to there. So I think there is no other way but to live that way.
Yeah. And now I do more meditation than yoga, which is, I never thought I would do that. And I think for tennis pros, since this is kind of for people in the tennis industry, for them, it's so beneficial too, because we are, balls of energy all day, giving out our energy to other people. Yeah. And we're talking nonstop all day, spending our energy, and to just take a few minutes to just be quiet, relax.
I think this good. This could be the only business where you're having a bad day and you have to be the most happy person alive.
Right. And most energetic and everything. Yeah.
So you become a Jekyll and Hyde. You become bipolar. I mean, it's got to be. So at some point, it has to release the stress and the pressure.
Yeah.
And this is the good way of doing it. Being active and sweating it out is great. But yeah, mental training, trying to train your mind to go where you want it to go. There's no substitute for that.
Yeah, it's a much healthier way to decompress. A lot. I think, I don't know in your experience, but in my experience, I've certainly met a lot of pros that drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why. It's just to, wind down, relax, and it can become a problem, for people.
Totally. No, I totally get it. I see where that's coming from. Sometimes it's you can't handle the stress and you have to kind of drown yourself. And, I think I've been there too. Everybody's, I think, at some point have been there because they kind of try to forget about what's going on. But it comes to an end the day you mature, you start getting a little better. Fitness is everything. You don't have fitness, you don't own yourself at 60, 70, you're basically a fruitcake. So you really have to kind of own your body and mind. If your mind is not sharp enough, what's the use of living? Yeah.
I want to be an advocate for that. And even for my staff and my pros, I need to do maybe a better job of that, is sharing, those practices with them. They might not be into it, because they're young and like, what are
youngsters won't, yeah.
But I think just like kind of putting that seed in their head, like, look, like this is going to help you, it can be of great value. So
I think that's a very good way I kind of love it. The way to kind of come across somebody who's a non-believer is kind of slowly put it in, you cannot act as if you are a kook of psychotic or one thing is that works for me, has to work for everybody.
Right.
You have to slowly infuse it, make it a simple kind of way to kind of do it, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes and stuff like that. And then you basically kind of, once they start seeing the benefit of it, they don't think it's taking too much time out of their life, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jay, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And I just want to share really quickly. This is my first time meeting Jay. We actually met on LinkedIn, and I was, kind of looking for a new gig for a summer job. And, I added him. I was adding a lot of people, kind of doing some networking. And right away you're like, hey, Jen, how are things going over there? And then you're like, trying to help me find a job in the summer, and like you were a stranger to me, so you don't find that very often, and I really appreciate you and doing that, because I think I was actually at a pretty low point where I was kind of, oh my gosh, not knowing what to do, and just throwing even just a message of, hey, I'm here if you need me, from a director. It meant a lot, and I really appreciate it.
No, great. You got good energy. And I love, met you now, so got to know you a little better. I think it's always good to meet new people and people who's going to make you better. That's what we are striving for. So it's all good.
All right, Jay. Well, thank you so much. And we'll be in contact soon, hopefully. Maybe I'll come to Nantucket this summer and pay you a visit.
Yeah, I think I might come down. I might come down to see Max. So play some golf or try to come. And our ladies are going to play your ladies. So we might.
Oh, nice.
We might be in competition.
Oh, that'll be awesome. So awesome. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you this summer.
Right. Take care, Jen.
All right. Thank you so much. Wow, what a fun and honest conversation with Jay. You can tell he's gotten to where he is for good reason. Here are some of the main takeaways. Bringing good energy and enthusiasm to the court is one of the most important things. Hiring and retaining staff is the most valuable and difficult part of our job. Never underestimate the power of word of mouth. Better start networking now. Have a plan for lessons, but don't feel like you have to go by the book each time. Incorporating yoga and meditation to your personal training as a coach and encouraging your students to do this as well can be extremely beneficial. Thank you all for listening to Vida Tennis. Please remember to subscribe so you get notified when episodes are posted. Feel free to leave me a review. Those can be very helpful so that other professionals in the tennis industry can find this content. I hope you have a fantastic day filled with tennis.